Independent retailers are reporting that sales have gone up following the collapse of several big high street chains in recent months. One of the biggest casualties so far was the electrical giant Comet. It went bust late last year, closing 236 stores across the UK.
Well, there's been better news at the record store HMV, which has been rescued from administration, potentially saving around 2,500 jobs. Recent research suggested that last year 20 shops closed every day, almost one every hour, somewhere in the UK.
Well, some of them will have been independent retailers, but many of those independents that remain appear to be benefiting from the big name closures. Here's our business correspondent, Peter Plisner.
Proud to be independent and happy to be seeing an upturn. The recent collapse of electrical giant Comet has meant more customers, more inquiries and more sales at this Birmingham showroom.
I would certainly say within the first month of them going, but there was certainly a 5–10% upsurge in demand because obviously people then were at a loss as to where to go for that washing machine, fridge, freezer, dishwasher, cooker, etc.
A couple of miles away, blacked out and shut down, the nearest Comet store, which closed just before Christmas. Retail experts say the demise of some chain stores has helped the independents in several sectors.
Well, they'll see an immediate benefit with market share which becomes available, and they're fairly quick to take that up, but they can also take opportunities where units become empty, and over the last few years we have seen that the number of independents has risen and has kept the number of empty shops across the country fairly level.
And for evidence of that, just visit any high street in the Midlands. The store behind me used to be a Woolworths, now it's a discount frozen food outlet. Although this company isn't independent, it does show that plenty of firms are expanding after the collapse of others. Nearby, another ex-Woolworths site, this time resurrected as a pound store. While the demise of Woolies took many by surprise, it's also given shoppers access to a bigger range of discounts.
The Woolworths were expensive, very cheap here.
It's just progression, it's how everything's turning round, isn't it? It's way of life now, I suppose.
The closure of big names like Comet shows just how tough the recession has been on retail. But it hasn't been easy for the independent sector either, and anything that helps them survive has to be a good thing.
And Peter joins us now from outside a Jessup store in Birmingham that closed earlier this year after going into administration, but has since reopened. Now, Peter, we've heard many stories about high streets in decline. How bad are things at the moment?
Well, Nick, clearly not as bad as they were earlier in the year, and the evidence is obviously behind me. It's one of 6 stores that's reopened. More than 200 closed earlier in the year. 30 to 40 stores could eventually reopen under a rescue plan put together by the entrepreneur and BBC Dragon, Peter Jones. But generally, I think sales are still in decline. The latest figures for February showed a 0.8% decline in retail sales. New figures are due out soon, but I think the cold weather will have kept many people at home.
What exactly are the reasons that the independents are doing so well following the closure of the big boys?
Well, you'd expect most people to head for the nearest computer and shop online instead, but certainly electrical goods, people like to touch and feel them first, and many independents are now offering internet prices. But generally, I think other sectors like fashion haven't seen an upturn, and even sectors that have seen an upturn say that sometimes they see that upturn slow as people find alternative places to shop.
Peter, thank you.